Okay everybody, over the course of these videos we've learned a lot of things, and in this video I want to do a review of what we've learned. So real quick, let's just go ahead and take a look back. One of the first things we learned was how to move objects around our scene using the transform tools up here. Of course, there is the move tool. You can move things with the arrow. You can move things on two axes at once with these planes. Of course, there's the rotate tool and the scale tool. And the hotkeys for those are W for move, E for rotate, and R for scale. All right. We also learned how to create game objects, simple 3D shapes like cubes and spheres. We don't typically use these for the final level design, but these are really good for mapping out your prototypes and just kind of figuring out where you want things to be. One thing that you can use these for is to create invisible walls. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the concept of invisible walls when you want to block the player into an area to make sure they can't get outside of the level. So you can just make this whatever size you need it to be and then remove the cube mesh filter and remove the mesh renderer. And now we have just an invisible collider here. So when you play the game, the player won't see this, but they won't be able to walk past it. All right. So if you need invisible walls, that's how you make those. Something else that I want to show you here is we can create an empty game object, and I'm going to set it all to 0, 0, 0, and I'm going to call it pickups because I like to keep all of my things organized over here in the hierarchy. So I'm going to select all of my pickup items, with my pickups and my health, and I'm going to drag them into this new empty game object. That way I can keep track of all of them, and if I wanted to, I could turn them all off and turn them all back on. Nice and easy. I'm going to do the same thing for my fire hazards also, because again, I like to keep everything organized. Okay, so we'll just create another empty game object, and I'll drag my fire hazards into it. All right. Something else we went over was the Pro Builder tools, but we talked about that in the last video, so I'm not going to go into any detail about that. Just remember that Pro Builder tools are awesome. They're very useful, so don't forget about those. We also talked about terrain. You can create a new terrain. It's a game object. It's a 3D object right here, terrain. Two things I didn't mention about terrain that I want to tell you now is that if you go to the settings over here, we can actually increase the draw distance of our grass. So you might notice that sometimes the grass disappears when it's off in the distance. See, like that, if I turn it all the way down, it's a very short draw distance. We can turn it up as well. All right. Sometimes that can affect performance, but it's usually not a big deal. The other thing I want to show you is these trees. When you're far away from them, they actually turn into what's called billboards. So I'm going to change this billboard start right here, and you see if I turn it all the way down, all the trees are billboards now. All right, but if we turn it back up, they turn into 3D. So you can see now, if I turn it right here, you see the ones in the back have turned into billboards, but the ones in the front are still full 3D. So if you notice that you're having that issue with billboard sprites for your trees, just change the billboard start distance. All right. Something else that we learned about was lights. Lights are also game objects. Right here, we can create new lights. For the directional lights, or for all the lights really, you can turn shadows on. You see I've turned soft shadows on. That's up to you. And you can see in the level now my objects cast shadows. All right. And let's see. Now I want to go over how the game actually works. Of course, when we started this lesson, I provided a project folder for you all with game mechanics already programmed in. Feel free to use these scripts for whatever you like. But for our game right now, the main goal is that we collect these pickup items. And you have to tell the game core how many pickup items we're going to have the player collect. So I have 2, but make sure if you have more than 2, if you have 4, for example, put 4 in there. If you don't have the right number in there, the game will not work properly. So just remember to do that, okay? All right, and something else I want to remind you all about is that if you have an object that you want the player to be able to jump on, make sure that it's layered as ground. And also for your level objects, if you don't intend for them to move, mark them as static, okay? One other thing that we went over was how to create materials. So you can go to your art folder. You can go to materials. You can right click and you can create a new material just like that. I'll just make it a new color here. We can change it with the color tool right there. All right. So that covers pretty much everything. I just want to do a quick review for you all so that we make sure we remember everything we went over. And in the next video, we're going to go ahead and get started with our level design. All right, so I'll see you then.